Why should anybody take a personality test? It's a great question, and we're going to answer that now. So personality assessments, first of all, they're mirrors, not labels. They're going to reflect back to you the assessment that you've done on yourself. It's solely a mirror. It's going to show you something about the way that you think in a way that nothing else ever has before. They give language to things that you may have felt but never knew how to explain. I can't tell you how just a beautiful experience it was and how affirming it was to see the ways that I have thought put to words in a way that I've never seen before. And thought, damn, like if my results can pin that down and show me how that's very unique from all these other people, it just really goes to show that I'm wired a specific way. And that naturally, my own awareness has allowed to pick up on that programming. I just never could really put the words to it or explain it to other people. Or maybe I could, but I felt a little crazy and thought like maybe I'm just full of myself, or maybe I'm crazy for thinking this way. But then you get the results and you're like, oh shit, like it's exactly how I'm thinking. And not everybody's thinking that way. They help reveal your natural wiring and how you process information. We do not all process information the same. I want you to imagine, just for the sake of, we're going to do a very quick glimpse of this, but I want you to imagine that you've got 8 cognitive functions. And these cognitive functions are only a fraction of your personality. And out of these 8 cognitive functions, everybody has them in a different order. The order in which you receive certain information in your mind, how and why you process it in relation to the other information, the value attributed to the different layers and depths. Like there's so much about, there's so many catalysts to your decision-making process that you couldn't begin to dissect it without doing this work, without peeling yourself apart and seeing the inner workings and why things are happening the way that they're happening. This is why the psychologist created these tests. Psychometrists do what they do to help people peel themselves apart and understand their operating system. They expose your strengths and your blind spots. You might have a pretty good idea what your strengths are. You might not have the slightest idea what your weaknesses are. You might have a great idea. I actually had a pretty good idea of what my weaknesses were, but I had misplaced the value that I had put in my strengths, actually. And through these assessments, I have found that my strengths have always been underplayed because of my trauma, and I've always been wanting to make other people around me comfortable. I used to put your comfort before the truth, and now I put the truth before anybody's comfort. And that was a shift that I had to make because of the awareness that I developed through these assessments. And it was invigorating, to say the least. But anyways, that's just a little tangent there. They help you stop copying other people's growth plan. You don't grow like other people. You don't study like other people. You don't research. You don't learn like other people. One of the biggest things I ever stopped doing was trying to do things like other people. Like that changed my life. I skyrocketed in my development and professional realms when I stopped trying to do anything like anybody else. Sure, there are proven ways to do certain things. There are methods, there are systems in which you can work within. Sure. But you don't learn, you don't grow the same as everybody else. You don't function the same as everybody else. And you must stop trying to progress your life in a way that's working extremely well for somebody else. Because you could be the best you need to be, but if you try to apply somebody else's method to your wiring, it ain't gonna work. It's like trying to put the square through the circle. Like, it's not going to work. They turn self-awareness into strategy. Just naturally, by you seeing your results and setting the intention to grow, a strategy will formulate itself in your mind. It'll drag you to the truth and show you the work that needs to be done. There are starting points for deeper inner work. Again, these tests, they are not concrete. They are not telling you this is who you are. They are not saying that this is how it is for you. They are mirrors. They're reflections. They're showing you what you answered to. But they will show you things about yourself that you can't see in almost any other way. It's almost impossible to see these things about yourself unless you have the courage to sit down with somebody and entirely put your ego aside and let them show you what these tests show you. So that's why we should take personality tests, to see ourselves in a new light, to understand why we do the things we do the way that we do them. And then from there, we can begin to develop our strengths, develop our weaknesses, integrate ourselves, live from as a whole person authentically, not trying to please anybody else, but by being as pleased as you could be by being yourself. And that's truly how you're going to bring as much joy to this world as possible. So that's why we take these tests, to see ourselves in a light that we've never seen ourselves, so that we can grow in a direction and at a speed that we haven't before. That's why we take these tests. I'll see you guys on the next video.